Most people think communication is about words. It is not. Words are just noise without the right foundation. You can say all the right things, use perfect grammar, sound intelligent, and still fail to connect with anyone. Why? Because real communication happens before you open your mouth, in your listening, in your silence, in your presence. In the next 25 minutes, you will learn 7 communication skills that have nothing to do with talking, skills that make people trust you, respect you, actually hear you, without you saying a word. Chapter 1. Stop waiting for your turn to talk. You are not listening, you are just waiting, waiting for a gap, waiting to speak, waiting to share your story. Real listening is rare. Most people do not do it. They hear words, but they are not listening. They are planning their response, thinking about what they will say next, preparing their rebuttal, crafting their own story. The person is still talking, but you stopped listening 30 seconds ago. You checked out. You are just waiting now, waiting for them to finish, waiting for your turn. This is why your conversations feel empty. Why do people not open up to you? Why do connections stay surface level? You are not actually present. You are performing, playing the role of listener, while your mind races ahead, planning, preparing, positioning yourself for what you want to say next. Here is what happens when you do this. People feel it. They sense you are not really there, not really engaged, not really interested. So they keep their guard up, they share less, they stay shallow, because you are not creating space for them. You are just filling time until you can talk again. Most people wonder why no one tells them the deep stuff, the real stuff, the stuff that matters. This is why you are not listening. You are just waiting to talk, and people can tell the difference. They always can. Every single time. Think about the last conversation you had. Really think. How much of it were you actually listening to? How much were you planning your response? How much were you thinking about your own story, your own experience, your own perspective? Probably most of it. You heard words, but you missed meaning. You caught facts, but you missed the feeling. Because you were not listening, you were waiting. A man once told me his marriage fell apart. He could not understand why. His wife stopped talking to him. They sat at dinner every night. She would start sharing her day. He would nod. Yeah, sure. But his mind was elsewhere, on work, on the game, tomorrow's meeting. She could tell, so she stopped sharing, stopped trying, stopped caring. 20 years of marriage died in those dinner conversations. Not because of big fights, because of small absences, because he was physically there, but mentally gone, waiting for his turn, waiting to talk about his day, his problems, his world. She felt invisible, so she left. This happens everywhere. In relationships, in friendships, in teams, at work. You sit in meetings nodding, but you are not listening. You are preparing your point, waiting for your moment. Someone finishes speaking. You jump in, but what they said is already gone from your mind. You heard sounds, you missed substance, and everyone notices. They stop sharing ideas with you, stop asking your opinion, stop inviting you to important conversations. Because listening to you means not being listened to, and that is exhausting. Real listening requires you to shut down your internal narrator. Stop planning, stop preparing, stop positioning. Just be there. Actually be there. At that moment, with that person, hearing not just words but emotion, not just facts but feelings, not just what they are saying but what they are not saying. The pauses matter. The hesitation matters. The words they choose matter. The words they avoid matter. All of it is communication. but you miss it all when you are just waiting to talk. When you truly listen, something shifts. People lean in, they share more, they go deeper, because they feel safe, they feel heard, they feel like you actually care, not about being right, not about having the best story, but about understanding them, really understanding them. This creates trust, real trust, the kind that makes people choose you, choose to confide in you, choose to work with you, choose to stay with you, because being heard is rare. And when someone finally hears you, you do not let them go. Your action for today. In your next conversation, try this. Count to 3 before responding. After they finish talking, count 1, 2, 3, then speak. This creates space. It shows you are thinking about what they said, not just what you want to say. It communicates that their words matter, that you are processing, that you are actually listening. Do this with everyone today. Your partner, your coworker, your friend, the barista, everyone. Count to 3, then respond. Most people cannot do this. They panic in silence. They feel pressure to fill it, to respond immediately, to prove they were listening. But that immediate response proves the opposite. It proves you were waiting, not listening. Real listening takes time. Real understanding requires pause. Real connection needs space. 3 seconds changes everything. It shows respect. It shows care. It shows you value their words enough to think about them, not just react to them. You will mess this up at first. You will forget. You will jump in. You will interrupt. Your old habits will take over. That is normal. Catch yourself. Reset. Try again. Every conversation is practice. Every person has a chance to get better, to be more present, to actually listen instead of just waiting. Who have you been waiting to talk to instead of listening to? Chapter 2. Match their energy before you challenge it. You are coming in too hot, too fast, too strong, and you are losing people before you even start. Communication is not just about what you say, it is about how you say it. When you say it, the energy you bring, the tone you use, the pace you set, you can have the right message, perfect words, flawless logic, and still push people away, because your energy is wrong, your intensity does not match theirs. You are at 10, they are at 3, and the gap is too wide. They cannot meet you there. Most people think being right is enough. Having the facts is enough. Making sense is enough. It is not. If your energy overwhelms them, they shut down. If your intensity scares them, they back away. If your passion feels like pressure, they resist. Not because you are wrong, because you are too much, too fast, too soon. Here is what you need to understand. You have to meet people where they are, not where you want them to be, not where they should be, where they actually are, right now, at this moment. If they are calm, you come in calm. If they are anxious, you acknowledge that. If they are resistant, you slow down. You match their energy first, then slowly, gently, you can shift it. Think about a time someone tried to hype you up when you were down. Did it work? Probably not. You felt more alone, more misunderstood, because they were not meeting you where you were. They were trying to drag you to where they were, and the gap was too big. So you shut down, pulled away, stopped sharing. This is what you do to others. You bring your energy, your intensity, your agenda, and you expect them to match it. But they cannot. They are not there yet. So they resist. They argue. They shut down. Not because your message is wrong, because your delivery is mismatched. You are speaking a different emotional language, and they cannot understand you. A woman I know lost every argument with her teenage daughter. Not because she was wrong, because she came in too hot. Her daughter would mention something small, a frustration, a disappointment, a worry, and she would immediately jump to life coach mode. Inspirational speeches. You can do anything, you are amazing, you just need to believe in yourself. Big energy, big passion, big belief. But her daughter was too sad, uncertain, small. The energy gap was massive, so the daughter shut down every time, stopped sharing, stopped trying. Eventually stopped talking altogether, not because the message was wrong, because the delivery was a mismatch. The mom was trying to pull her daughter up, but she needed to climb down first. Meet her in sadness, sit with her in the uncertainty, match the small energy, then slowly together, build up. But she never learned, and they never connected. This happens in every relationship, at work. Your boss brings you concern. Something is not working. You immediately go into defense mode. High energy, lots of reasons, lots of explanations. But they came in calm, measured. Looking for dialogue, your energy felt like an attack. So they shut down, stopped listening, decided you could not handle feedback. Not because you were wrong, because you did not match their energy first. With friends, they share something painful. You immediately go into fix-it mode. Solution energy, action energy, move forward energy. But they need sit with me energy. Feel this with me energy. Acknowledge my pain energy. Your energy says let us solve this. Their energy says let us feel this. The mismatch creates distance. No connection. They learn not to come to you with pain, because you cannot meet them in it. Your action for today. Pay attention to energy in every conversation. Before you speak, check in. What is their energy level? What is their mood? What is their pace? Then match it. If they are speaking softly, you speak softly. If they are processing slowly, you slow down. If they are uncertain, you get curious with them. Match first. Always match first. Only after they feel met can you gently shift the energy, lead them somewhere new. But never drag them, never force them. Meet them first. Always. The resistance will tell you this is manipulation. It is not. It is respect. It is empathy. It is actually caring enough to meet people where they are, not demanding they meet you where you are. That is not communication. That is domination. And it never works. Not long term. Not in relationships that matter. Energy matching is a skill. Like any skill, it takes practice. You will get it wrong. You will come in too hot sometimes, too cold at other times, too fast, too slow. You will misjudge. You will overcorrect. That is fine. Keep practicing, keep paying attention, keep adjusting. Over time, you will develop intuition. You will sense energy shifts. You will know when to match, when to shift, when to hold. This intuition transforms your relationships, makes you safe, makes you trustworthy, makes you someone people want to talk to, because you meet them where they are. You do not demand they meet you. Who have you been overwhelmed with mismatched energy? Chapter 3. Say less to be heard more. You are talking too much, way too much. And people stopped listening minutes ago. You think more words equal more clarity. More explanation equals more understanding. More talking equals more influence. You are wrong. More words dilute your message. More explanation creates confusion. More talking makes people tune out. You lose them in the noise, in the repetition, in the endless stream of words that blur together into nothing. Most people over-explain because they are insecure. They do not trust their point is strong enough, so they add more. They justify. They elaborate. They give examples and counterexamples and exceptions to exceptions. They bury their message under mountains of words and wonder why no one heard it. Here is the truth. Your best ideas deserve fewer words. Your strongest points need less explanation. Your most important messages work better short, because shorts are sharp. Short cuts through, short lands. Long rambles, long confusion. Long loses people 3 sentences in. Think about the messages that changed your life. Were they long speeches? Probably not. They were probably single sentences. Short truths, punchy realizations, words that hit you like a punch. Not because they were elaborate, because they were essential. Stripped down, direct, no fluff, no filler, just the truth. The manager I worked with never got promoted. She could not figure out why. She was smart, hard-working, dedicated, but every time she presented to leadership, she lost them. She would start with a clear point, then add context, then add background, then add caveats, then add more examples, then circle back to restate the point. By the time she finished, no one remembered what her original point was. They just remembered feeling exhausted. She talked her way out of every promotion, not because her ideas were bad, because her delivery buried them. She thought more words made her sound smarter, made her sound more thorough, made her sound more prepared. But it just made her sound unclear, uncertain, like she did not trust her own message. So why should they? Another person I know got promoted twice in 18 months. Same company, same leadership team. What did he do differently? He mastered the one-sentence pitch. Every idea, every proposal, every update, one clear sentence. That is it. Then he stopped, waited, let it land. If they wanted more, they asked. Most of the time they did not. His one sentence was enough. It was clear. It was direct. It answered the question. He did not dilute it with unnecessary words. He trusted his message, and leadership trusted him. Because he did not waste their time, he respected their attention. He communicated like someone who knew what mattered, like someone confident enough to be brief. That confidence showed up everywhere, in his work, in his leadership, in his results. One sentence changed his career, because one sentence proved he understood what mattered. You need to learn to edit yourself. Before you speak, while you speak, after you speak. Cut the unnecessary, drop the redundant, kill your darlings. Every word should earn its place. Every sentence should add value. If it does not, delete it. Do not speak it. Move on. This is hard. Your brain wants to explain, to justify, to make absolutely certain they understand. But certainty comes from clarity, not quantity. Short and clear beats long and thorough. Every single time. You can say something powerful, or you can say something long. You rarely get to do both. Choose powerful, choose short, choose words that land, not words that linger, not words that need explanation, not words that require follow-up, words that hit once and stick. That is the skill. That is what makes people remember you, what makes people trust you, what makes people actually hear you in a world full of noise. What are you over-explaining that you should just state? Chapter 4. Learn to hold uncomfortable silence. Silence terrifies you, so you fill it with words, with noise, with anything to avoid the discomfort. But silence is where real communication happens, in the pause, in the gap, in the space between words. That is where people think, where they process, where they decide if they trust you. When you rush to fill silence, you rob them of that space. You interrupt their thinking, You pressure them to respond before they are ready. Most people cannot tolerate 5 seconds of silence. It feels awkward, heavy, wrong. So they talk, they ramble, they ask another question, anything to kill the silence. And in doing so, they kill the connection. Because silence is not empty, it is full of thinking, full of feeling, full of decision-making. When you fill it, you stop all of that. You force a response before they have one, and you get surface-level answers, defensive answers, answers designed to fill silence, not the truth. Here is what you need to know. Comfortable silence is a sign of trust. When two people can sit in silence without panic, they are connected, really connected. But you never get there if you cannot hold uncomfortable silence first. If you always rush to speak, always need to fill the gap, always avoid the pause. Think about a time someone asked you a hard question, then they waited. I really waited. Did not rush you. Did not interrupt your thinking. Did not fill the gap with more questions. Just wait. How did that feel? Probably uncomfortable at first, then safe, because they were giving you space, room to think, permission to take your time. That silence communicated respect, patience, trust, more than any words could. A therapist once taught me this skill. I came to her with a problem. She asked a question. I started to answer, stopped, did not know what to say. Silence. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I felt pressure to say something, anything, but she just waited. Calm, patient, present, not filling the gap, not rescuing me, just holding space. Finally, after what felt like forever, the real answer came. Not the surface answer I was going to give. The deep answer, the true answer. The answer I did not know I had until the silence gave me room to find it. That changed everything for me. I realized I had been filling silence my entire life, never giving anyone room to think, never giving myself room to discover what I actually felt. Just filling, talking, moving, never stopping, never waiting, never listening to what emerged in the quiet. Where are you filling the silence that you should be holding space? Chapter 5. Ask questions that make people think. Your questions are boring, predictable, safe. And people give you boring, predictable, safe answers. You ask surface questions. How are you? How is work? How was your weekend? These are not real questions. They are social scripts. Verbal handshakes. Everyone knows the expected answers. Fine, busy. No one shares anything real, because you did not ask anything real. Most people avoid deep questions because they fear the answers. They fear intimacy. They fear real connection. So they stay on the surface. They ask safe questions. They get safe answers. And they wonder why all their relationships feel shallow, why no one really knows them. Why do they not really know anyone? This is why. You never ask the questions that matter. You never invite depth. You never signal that you actually want to go there, so people assume you do not, and they stay safe. Stay on the surface. Stay protected. Here is what changes when you ask better questions. People wake up, they lean in, they actually think before answering, because you are treating them like they have something worth hearing, like their thoughts matter, like their inner world is interesting. Most people never experience this. Most people spend their lives giving surface answers to surface questions. When you ask deep questions, you stand out. You become someone worth talking to, someone worth knowing. Someone who sees them. I really see them. Not just the performance they show the world, but the person underneath. Think about the best conversation you ever had. What made it great? Probably the questions. Someone asked you something that made you think, make you reflect, made you articulate something you had never said out loud. And in answering, you discovered something about yourself. That is what great questions do. They do not just extract information, they create insight. For both people, the asker learns about you. You learn about yourself. That double discovery is what makes conversations meaningful, not the exchange of facts, the exchange of understanding. Most people will not know how to answer at first. They are used to surface questions. They are used to autopilot answers. Your deep question will confuse them. They will pause. They will think. They might even ask you to repeat it. Give them time. Hold the silence. Wait for them to think. Do not rescue them. Do not fill the gap. Do not make it easier by asking a surface question instead. Hold the space. Trust they will get there. When they do answer, you will get something real, something true, something worth hearing. That is communication, not the exchange of pleasantries, the exchange of truth, the exchange of what actually matters, the exchange that makes people feel less alone in their humanity. Every relationship in your life can go deeper, but only if you ask deeper questions, only if you show people you actually want to know them, not just know about them, but know them, their hopes, their fears, their struggles, their joys, all of it, hiding under surface questions, waiting for someone to finally ask. Be that someone, be the person who asks, who invites depth, who makes people feel worthy of real questions. That changes everything, not just for them, for you, because deep questions create deep connections, and deep connections create deep life. What questions are you asking that keep you on the surface? Chapter 6. Stop trying to fix everything you hear. You are not listening to understand. You are listening to solve. And that is pushing people away. Someone shares a problem. Immediately you jump to solutions. You give advice. You troubleshoot. You fix it. You think you are being helpful. You are not. You are being dismissive. You are saying their feelings are a problem to solve, not an experience to honor. So they stop sharing. They keep it surface. Because vulnerability with you leads to unsolicited advice, not connection. Most people do this because it makes them feel useful, valuable, needed. If they can fix your problem, they have purpose. They matter. But relationships are not about being useful. They are about being present. And presence does not require solutions. It requires a witness. Someone to see you, hear you, validate your experience. Not fix it, not minimize it, not solve it. Just hold space for it. Think about a time you shared something difficult. How did it feel when someone immediately gave advice? Did it help? Or did it feel like they were not really listening? Like they wanted to move past your pain as fast as possible? Like your feelings were inconvenient? That is what you do to others. Every time you offer unsolicited advice, you make their pain inconvenient. You make their struggle about your need to fix things. This will feel useless at first. You will feel like you are not helping, but you are. You are giving them what they actually need, not what you think they need. There is a difference, a big one. What they need is to feel less alone, to feel understood, to feel like their struggle matters. You cannot give them that with solutions. You can only give them that with presence, with empathy, with a wit. Most people never learn this skill. They spend their entire lives fixing, solving, advising, and wondering why no one shares the deep stuff with them. This is why, because sharing the deep stuff requires safety, and safety does not come from someone who will fix you. It comes from someone who will sit with you, in the mess, in the pain, in the uncertainty, without needing to change it. Just hold it. With you. Who are you trying to fix when you should just be listening? Chapter 7. Communicate through your presence. Not just your words, your body is talking. And it is saying things your words are not. You can say all the right things, use perfect words, have flawless delivery. But if your body language is closed, no one believes you. If your tone does not match your message, no one trusts you. If your presence feels distracted, no one connects with you. Because communication is not just verbal, it is visual. It is energetic. It is the whole package. Words are just a small part of it. Most people focus only on words. What to say, how to say it, when to say it. They ignore everything else. The crossed arms, the lack of eye contact, the phone they keep checking, the body turned away, the tone that sounds bored. All of this communicates louder than words, and it says, I do not really care. I am not really here. I have somewhere else I would rather be. We worked on this. Simple changes. Phone in drawer during meetings, computer closed. The body turned toward the person. Eye contact. Open posture. Within weeks, people started sharing problems with him. Real problems. Deep problems. Problems they had been hiding for months. Nothing changed except his presence. But his presence changed everything. Because it finally matched his words, and people trusted it. Your action for today. In every conversation, check your presence. Am I fully here? Is my body language open? Am I making eye contact? Is my tone warm? Am I distracted by anything? If yes to that last one, fix it. Put your phone in another room. Close your laptop. Turn off the TV. Be fully present. Give them your complete attention. Watch what happens. People will share more, connect deeper, trust you faster, because your presence told them they were safe, they were valued, they mattered. Most people will never do this. They will keep their phone in their pocket, keep half their attention elsewhere, keep their presence divided. Be different. Be someone who shows up fully, who gives complete attention, who communicates through presence as much as words. That is rare. That is powerful. That is what transforms relationships. Not clever words, not perfect phrases, just full presence, full attention, full engagement. That is the communication skill that changes everything. Where is your presence missing when your words are present? Real communication is not about talking more. It is about showing up differently. These 7 skills change everything. Not because they are complicated, because most people never practice them. Starting today, you can. One skill at a time, one conversation at a time. Your relationships will never be the same.